How did you move from Georgia to Jim Crockett Promotions come about?
Okay. After we wrestled the Road Warriors, and I kind of hung around Georgia for a while, but he only saw me in that one light. He never saw me in any other light. I don't know if that's good or bad, because if I'd have hung around there, who knows what the end result would have been. I went back. I went back to Pensacola.
Right.
For a year and a half. And that was my proving ground, where I got experience in front of the cameras. Again, I got to work with Bob Armstrong, Brad Armstrong, Jimmy Golden, Ron Fuller, Robert Fuller, all the Armstrong boys, the Tonga Kid, who was first starting at that particular time. There was just some great talent. And I got to do interviews every week. Jerry Stubbs and I were partners. Jerry taught me a lot. He was a tremendous wrestler. Unlimited potential, had some health problems, probably cost him a multi-million-dollar career. That's where Rick came down, and I actually met Rick in Georgia a couple times before going to Pensacola. He would come in as a champion, and I just talked to him a couple times, but we started to become friends, because I would drive him around the territory. In those days, to go pick up the champion in the airport, drive him around was an honor, obviously. So obviously I volunteered to do that. Being a single guy down there, I didn't have family responsibilities. And I went and picked him up and took him to the towns. We became friends. He kept saying, listen, Charlotte is in a rebuilding process. I know that we'd love to have you. I want you. I can make it happen. And I put him off, and I put him off. Then I met my current wife, who's from Pensacola, and I really didn't want to leave. But the money offer that he was talking, and it was just a handshake verbal agreement, was just too good to pass up. So he got me booked, and Dusty Rhodes was booking at that time, and away I went.
Now, what are your initial impressions of Dusty Rhodes when you first met him?
Again, Marty Lundy, the wrestling fan, walked in the door, and my chin hit the floor. I was meeting Dusty Rhodes. And I'd been wrestling at that point for 2.5 years. I was still awestruck, starstruck. He was charismatic. You know, he was Dusty Rhodes when I walked in the door. He wasn't Virgil Runnels. He was Dusty Rhodes right out of the chute. Huh. And that impressed me so much. And he said, kid, I'll give you the ball, run with it. If you get some yardage, then I'll make sure that your position goes up. And it did.
How about Dusty Rhodes?
Again, most charismatic guy I've ever been in the ring with. He could talk him into the arena, and when he got him there, Dusty could perform. And for a guy his size, you know, to have that much charisma, you never, you know, there was always, and I was never one of the guys because, let's face it, like I said, I didn't have one of those great bodies either. There was always the downside of Dusty's body and the fact that he wasn't in shape. In the bell ring, you never saw Dusty Rhodes' body. You saw this charisma that loomed around him, and he hooked the crowd and he held them in, bell to bell.
Somebody was saying, I forgot who it was, that Dusty liked to book himself to Tully because Tully made him look so good. So,
that's absolutely right.
All right. Now, your first series, was it with Manny Fernandez when you first came in?
First television.
What are your memories of that?
Great. I had never met Manny. He came across, and just talking with him is a little distant because he didn't know me either. And the situation we were going to be in, you know, he was pretty intense. And I found out that's just the way Manny is. Manny is very intense. We had some pretty good fights. And it was, I've been in bar fights that weren't that bad. Right. So it was good for me. It was good for him. It was a good first impression of me. I think the fans saw, you know, I get my ass handed to me and I get up from it. That helps. That first impression is so crucial. Right. When you come into a new area and a new television. It helped me.
Now, what are your memories of winning the TV title for the first time when you beat Wahoo in the tournament?
Well, that was my first major title. I had held the tag belts a couple times in Southeastern, but this was the big time. And I don't really know if it was wrestling Wahoo or winning the belt, which one rose above the other? Just the ability to be in the ring with a man like Wahoo McDaniel was such an honor. And to take the beating that he gave me made it all worthwhile. And to actually come out on top of a guy like that, even though Wahoo was getting close to the end of his career, still he was more man than most guys in the locker room. And to me, it was a tremendous honor. And I was proud. What can I say? I was very proud.
What about your memories of matches with Magnum TA?
Probably one of the most intense, stiffest guys I've ever been in the ring with. And stiff means, buddy, he would knock your head off. And no other way to put it. Those days, Magnum was about 255 and in that weight room constantly and intense as anybody ever. He was hungry. He was starving. He wanted to be the best wrestler in the world. And, buddy, he let you know it every time out there. But it was always a money match when you were in it. No problem with fan involvement. They were into it. They loved him. And he would have been one of the greatest of all time if it hadn't been for the tragedy.
Watch thousands of exclusive shoot interviews right now on TitleMatchNetwork.com.